gorgeouses! Thank you so much for tuning into my video today. As you can see from the title, I am doing a video on the MAC Nordstrom Natural x 15 palette, and I'm so excited to be doing this video because I was so happy to have this palette in my collection. Now MAC has two other eyeshadow palettes. They have a cool neutral and a warm neutral palette, so it's good that they have that for different people that prefer different types of undertones in their eyeshadows. However, the Nordstrom Naturals was the one that really caught my attention, and it is I would say, a warmer palette as well. I do love the warm palettes, or gravitate towards warm neutral eyeshadows, and I was so stoked because I do own quite a few MAC eyeshadows, and I mean, it's not a great big collection, but it is more on the neutrals that I have, and I did not have these eyeshadows in my collection at all, so I was like, yes, like an actual one that I don't have. So let me show you here. I'll open it up so you don't see the glare. Please excuse my palette though, because I actually use this. As soon as I was given this palette, I just had to use it right away. I'm so lucky that my boyfriend pays attention to me when I talk about makeup, and I was like so excited to see this palette come out, but I was really thinking about, just because it is a little, I mean, it's not that too steep of a price. It's $85 for this palette, but it's just kind of one of those things, was like I was just kind of putting off for a little bit, and he ended up buying it for me and surprising me with it. So I was just so happy to have this, and my boyfriend is so wonderful. So let me just open this up for you so you can take a look. And yes, I have used it, so there is going to be like little powders, you know, on the side of it. And so this is the MAC Nordstrom Naturals, and the eyeshadow itself is just a teensy bit smaller than their regular eyeshadow that they have. So let me show you. This is soft brown that I have, so as you can see, I love my neutrals, and it is just a teensy bit smaller. Really, it's like not that huge of a difference, honestly. You don't even use that much eyeshadow on consistently, really. I have here in my collection Belong Time. This is my favorite eyeshadow of all time. It's just this matte bone color, and I have had this now for 2 years, and I have used it pretty much every day. Like seriously, it's been like 5 to 6 days in a week. I'll use this for my brow bone and for my inner tear duct, that I just always use this, and like, you know, like I'm actually almost done after 2 years of this, so it just definitely takes a while. So I think that this is the perfect size of a palette. 15 beautiful eyeshadows. MAC also came out with their like ×9 palette, and that one was $40. And let me show you like in size comparison so you can see. I have the burgundy one, and see, these are like little tiny dime sized eyeshadows, which I still recommend purchasing these kind of ones because it's only $40 and you get to try out 9 eyeshadows. It's almost like sample sizes, but they're eyeshadows, so they last a really long time. So this is next to the 15 palette, so you can see like in comparison to how much like smaller they are, and then how bigger this is. So let me just run you through these eyeshadows here for you. I haven't fully memorized the names of these. Just give me a few days and like I'll have this like totally memorized. So on this side right here, you have Vapor, you have Honey Lust, All That Glitters, Saddle, and honestly, like I'm just having my eye on this. I haven't used it yet, but I just already like love it, even though I haven't even used it, because I just love those kind of browns that are like, it's like almost like a burnt brown. It's cross between an orange. My favorite MAC eyeshadow is Brown Script, and as you can see, it's like a deeper, darker burnt orange, and Saddle is a little bit lighter, so I still really like the way that looks. And then Mulch is right here. On this side right here, we have Rice Paper, Amber Lights, this is Woodwinked, this is Wedged, and Brune. And then over here we have Omega, Satin Taupe, which I was like really dying to try out too, because this is like one of those cult favorites that a lot of people like, so happy that that was in there. We have Embarked, Beauty Marked, and Carbon, and it's just a matte black, so I really like that they also included like this matte black in this, although Carbon kind of has like mixed reviews about itself. But let me just run you through my eyeshadow that I am wearing today, and it's using this palette here. It's a little bit dramatic, or you know, depends on how much makeup you use and what you call dramatic or not. This is kind of just a little bit more oomph in my normal everyday, like I don't use this every day like eyeshadow look, but I just want to do something extra using this palette. So on my eyelid right there, let me close the right one, I'm closing the other one. I have Woodwinked, which is this really pretty shade. Let me swatch it for you too. And Woodwinked is like this Volux Pearl, is that what it's called? And it's so beautiful. I really like that. I wonder, that's probably gonna look really gorgeous also if you apply it like kind of wet, and gives it a really foil look to it. So I have Woodwinked on my lid, and then in my crease, I started off with this very light shade, Omega. And this is kind of they have some cool tones into this Nordstrom Natural palette. This is a pretty cool tone. And I have Omega, and then I have Wedge, and then I have Brune to really deepen it up right there at that outer end. And then just really, really close at that V, I have Carbon right there just to really smoke it out, but it's just very close to my lash line and everything. And I also applied a gel liner and put Carbon over it just to make sure it stays on really well. And as my brow bone highlighter, I used Rice Paper because it's a very popular eyeshadow, and I really wanted to try it out. And it is kind of like a skin tone. It's not really super brightening. It almost kind of just matches your skin tone, but it just has this very light shimmer to it, if you can tell. And then, of course, like I said, Blanc Type is one of my favorites. I also said that, and I also said Brown Script is my favorite, but Blanc Type too is also really great. And I have that on my inner tear duct too. So $85 for 15 MAC eyeshadows, including the palette. The palette itself, I'm not too sure how much it is. I know I bought one quite a while ago when they first came out, because I thought I would like build my own palette, or like I had some Inglot eyeshadows that I like also put in there. And I want to say at the time it was $18, but I believe they dropped their price down from that. So I think now it's like around $10 or so. So you get 15 eyeshadows, including this palette. It's magnetized, so it stays shut really well for you. It's just so worth the splurge, I think. I mean, in comparison to buying each eyeshadow singly, I feel like it's actually a bargain rather than a splurge. It just can look like a splurge because it's all in one lump sum. I mean, that's why it took me a little while I was like thinking about it, and then my boyfriend surprised me with it. So, oh, I didn't do enough swatches, right? I should do a little bit more. So let's swatch Beauty Marked right here, which is this like purpley, black and purple eyeshadow. And like, just look at that pigmentation right there. That is just ridiculously pigmented. Oh my goodness, love. And then let's see, I'll show you Rice Paper, what I was talking about. That's kind of like the skin tony. See, look at that, and it just has that little shimmer to it, and that's what's on my brow bone right there. And then for the last swatch, why don't we swatch this baby right here, Mulch, which is a velvet. And so these is just an amazing palette to have, this naturals with just that little purple. It creates something, you know, different as well. And the pigmentation is so great from MAC. Absolutely love it, and it's just a great way to try out their eyeshadows for just a little bit of a bargain price, even though it's like a little lump sum of it. So I hope you enjoyed this video. It's not really a review because I just purchased it. I just kind of wanted to do like a little show and tell because I haven't seen a whole lot of videos about it. That's why it took me a while to figure that this was out at Nordstrom's. I didn't really see any videos or see pictures like on Instagram or anything about girls like buying this. So I just wanted to, you know, show that out and to spread the word that this palette is, you know, limited edition and sold exclusively at Nordstrom's. So if you're thinking about picking up some MAC eyeshadows, and if you don't have any of these eyeshadows, I would totally recommend it. But if you do have like most of them, then it's not really like, you know, a major thing then to get if you have them all. But remember, they do have the cool palettes, cool neutrals, and the warm neutrals as well. So they have 3 total. So thanks for tuning in so much, and I'm so happy to be back. Bye, gorgeouses.